thought for Shabbat for Friday, August 1st. This week we read the Torah portion known as Devarim, the first Torah portion in the book of Deuteronomy. And Devarim in Hebrew means words. The book of Deuteronomy contains a series of speeches that Moses gives to the Israelites just as they're about to enter the Promised Land. It begins, Eila Devarim. These are the words that Moses spoke to the Israelites. And in those speeches, he reminds them of the journey that they and their ancestors have traveled since they left Egypt 40 years ago. His speeches will also remind them of their covenant with God and the rules the Israelites must uphold in order to create a just and compassionate society in the Promised Land. It seems fitting, actually, that the last book in the Torah should begin with the idea of words and speech, when in fact the very first book of the Torah also begins with words and the power of speech. Our story of creation begins with God speaking the world into being. God uses language to bring order out of the chaos, and uses language to bring forth earth, to separate land, water, and sky. God also uses language to describe creation. Each act is good until God creates humanity and animals and fills the earth with living beings, at which point creation is very good. Our tradition has always taught us that words have an incredible power to bring about change, to shape and to influence how we think and feel. The story of creation reminds us that words can not only create, they can build up a new world. Of course, we also understand that words have the power to tear people down, to destroy rather than create. Starting Saturday night, the Jewish people will observe the saddest day of our calendar, a day of mourning for the Jewish people, where we remember the destruction of the first and second temples in Jerusalem and recall the countless moments of destruction which our people have faced. This holiday is known as Tisha B'Av, the 9th day of the month of Av. The rabbis of the Talmud believed that the temples were left vulnerable as the people forgot their values. And they teach that the second temple especially was destroyed because of sinat chinam, baseless hatred. Though the Romans might have been the source of the destruction, the people were left particularly vulnerable because of the hatred they felt one towards another. We can imagine the terrible words spoken from one person to another that would lead to this sort of destruction. Perhaps we hear it in our daily world now. The lesson from the rabbis is clear. When we forget the power of our words, when we forget to see the divine in every person, to see the very good that God imbued in all of humanity, and instead when we let hate fill our words and keep us apart, we are in danger of losing all we hold dear. As we read Parshat Devarim this Shabbat and head into Tisha B'Av at the conclusion of our day of rest, we have an opportunity to reimagine our world through the lens of words. Too often we see words tearing worlds down, destroying our connections to those in our community and our fellow human beings. Now is the time to double down on our efforts to build a better world with our words, a world where we speak into reality the goodness inherent in every living soul. This week, we will celebrate Shabbat at the beach, finding peace and connection as a community, celebrating Shabbat and the beauty of our created world. You can find the information for where to meet in our Thought for Shabbat email. Join us for dinner at 5:45, and our services are at 6:30. We hope to see you there. Shabbat Shalom.